Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about installing cabinet hardware. We decided to do it ourselves. We're moving into our house. We didn't have a lot of options at the builder and we wanted something that we wanted to be able to choose. These are really heavy duty handles. They come in multiple sizes. We really love them. They're not hollow on the inside. They're actually solid, so they've got some weight to them. We'll put a link in the description below to these. These are really kind of a cool handle. The other thing I want to talk to you a little bit about is we got a small kit. The kits for doing cabinet jig hardware installs are all over the place. They can be, you know, $5 where you get a little plastic one, you dip it with hit it with a pen, or you can get something like the King and Charles. So this one is the King and Charles. Be careful though, because there is a couple of these on Amazon. Some of them come with drill bits, some of them don't. I like the ones that come with brand new drill bits for doing cabinets, because the least amount of damage to the cabinets I can do is the best for the cabinets and best for me, because I can sleep at night then. So this is what it is. It's King and Charles. Comes in a handy little bag like that. This is the actual tool. So the tool itself is really nice because it gives you all of the measurements. You get everything secured exactly where you want it. You screw these things down real tight where you want them. And then every cabinet gets the same position, up and down, left to right for every handle. The nice thing about it is it flips too. So, you know, once you get all your measurements, you measure once, you put that up against the right side for this cabinet, and then you put the bottom up against the bottom, and you mark your two holes. So what they do for this one, which makes it really kind of cool, is they give you a punch. So the nice thing about this punch, it just leaves a dimple. So you push it until it clicks, it leaves a dimple in the wood, and then the beauty of this cabinet install then is they give you these drill bits. And the drill bit's got a tiny little tip on it that fits right in that dimple. So when you start drilling, you won't wave to side, you won't have anything, it goes right to the point. So a couple things I learned with this. One, if you want to keep your fraying down from the front, use a little piece of blue painter's tape or green tape. Do not use Scotch tape or something like that. It's just going to peel off paint, or could. Use something that can peel off a cabinet without damaging it. And the second thing is, if you go online, some of them say put tape on the back, and it'll help reduce the fraying of the wood when you come out the other side with the hole. We found that didn't really work that well. The best thing that works is a piece of scrap wood. So if you take a piece of scrap wood, you secure it to your cabinet with a little clamp. That's going to be the best for not fraying the wood on the exit hole going the other way. You always want to also go through the front, because going through the front is going to give you the least amount of damage to the face of the cabinet by going through the front. If you have a little bit of blowout on the back, nobody's going to see it. If you have to, you can touch it up a little bit if it bothers you, but it really is going to, you know, be more beneficial for you to go through the front. It's always the way they do it. The second thing is, you want the drill to be, you don't want to be going full blast. You don't want to be going slow. You kind of want a nice even, and let the bit do its work, right? Don't be pushing hard on it. It's a cabinet door. It's not, you know, an oak dresser or something like that. So that's it. So we'll put a link in the description below to two things. The King and Charles thing is really a great deal. It's like 20, 25 bucks. They are not sponsoring this video. I just really love it. And I'll put a link in the description below for this. Sometimes they go on sale. You can get them in fanciness. This is a metal one. You can get them in aluminum. You can pay more if you want. I don't know why you would want to. The metal one works just fine. It's probably a little lighter maybe. I don't know. Anyway, but it comes in this handy dandy kit. It's well worth it for the little bit of money. You can get kits and jigs up to $300. Don't really know what those things do. At the end of the day, if you make a mistake, it's your mistake. So measure twice, cut or drill once in this scenario. That's really it. Subscribe to our channel. I'll show you how we're going to do this in a minute here with the King and Charles. And in our little tip here, putting a piece of wood in the back. And that's it. We'll show you putting our handles in. So the nice thing is then you can just flip it and do the other side. There you go. And now you can see they're the exact same. Now if you wanted to, just because you're that person, you could pull out a tape measure and measure. You can see it's right on our mark there. It's right on our mark there. And the top one's right on the mark. Top one's right on the mark. We also wanted to make sure our cabinet handles went with this line. So if you look, That's about where it would go, and it's about on this line right there. So all I'm doing, and you gotta be careful with this, you don't wanna obviously damage your cabinet like trying to hold a piece of wood in place, but so all I'm doing is securing a piece of wood to the back, right where the hole approximately would come out for the drill bit. There we go. And so now the drill bit will come out that hole. And you want to make it tight enough that it's not going to whatever, and then be careful not to damage your own cabinet. So then the nice thing is this little tip fits in that little dimple. Boom. And now I know I'm good there, and I can start drilling. And I use just a towel behind it to kind of hold it in place so I don't have to hold it with my hand. And now I know I'm through, and you see you'll get a little bit of fraying in the front, but not too bad. And the nice thing is, I got a little bit of space on both sides, so that little bit of fraying there won't hurt us any. Then, if you go and look at the back, I take this off. Be careful taking it off, of course. You can see very little fraying, and that fraying that did happen will get covered with the head of the screw. I'll show you that in a second when I drill the second hole. There we go. Again, very little fraying in the back. You're always going to have a little bit, but it's not. The idea is to minimize as much of it as you can. See mine? The head of the screw covers that little bit of fraying I did have. So I just have that little bit. Then installing the. And you don't want to. You want to make sure the holes that you drill to, if you have to screw your screw in just to get it through the hole because it's super tight, then you're going to have a little bit of a problem. Because when you do that, unless you have a drill and you are completely level going through your cabinet door, you'll have a hard time getting your screws to start on the other side because you need that little bit of wiggle room for doing that, for putting that thing in there. Okay, so this is definitely something that's a little bit intimidating, but you can do this yourself. You will save hundreds and hundreds of dollars doing it. You'll get better hardware like we did, and you'll get to choose what you want. It is something you can do, you just gotta take your time, be patient, and to do it. But otherwise, this would have cost us probably close to like $1,200 to $1,500 to do the whole house. And they wouldn't let us switch out different handles for different rooms either. It was all or nothing, which was odd. Anyways, so you could definitely do this yourself, and it will save you a ton of money. I think by the time we're said and done with this, we will probably be into it with handles about $250, $300 total. And we're going to choose the handles we want for every bathroom, every kitchen, every cabinet. So that's it. Subscribe to our channel. I'll put a link in the description below to these handles. I'll put a link in the description below to the King and Charles jig that we used. And if you have any other tips for when you did yours or whatever, let us know. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.